Let's go! Okay?
All right. Yeah, Peaches got it.
Yippee!
Here we go.
We're back for part 4 of Funtendo in San Francisco. Let's jump right into the movie. Here we are, walking down towards Union Square. Just wanted to give you a feel of how the streets look. Very clean around the tourist areas. Hardly saw any homeless people. As you can see, the streets are clear. Everything looks well populated. That store is actually empty. I believe that used to be Express. Walking down towards formerly Westfield. I believe they call it San Francisco Emporium now. But as you can see, there's going to be a lot of stores that are closed. Way more stores that are closed that have been open. That store right there is closed. That's Lids. I used to go there and get baseball hats. That's closed. That's closed. Walgreens is still open. Like I said, the fallout from the pandemic was extremely hard on San Francisco. So a lot of places allowed their workers to work remotely. And pretty much forced small businesses to shut down. And a lot of the larger businesses are shutting down as well. They're getting way less foot traffic. We're going to walk over to Union Square here so I can show you. Again, you can see how clean it actually is in the tourist areas. And just get a feel for the amount of traffic out on the street. Like, this is a Saturday and there's hardly anybody out. Actually, this is Sunday. There's hardly anybody out. Normally, there'd be many more people out here. San Francisco used to be a top tourist destination for international travelers and domestic travelers. So foot traffic has been greatly reduced. We're inside the former Westfield Center and gonna go up to the second level here. Take a spin around so you can see how many retailers have closed up shop. That retailer's closed. Another store is closed. Another store is closed here. Another storefront is closed. That storefront is closed. The only thing they pretty much have up here is this small kiosk that's still opening and the Samsonite luggage store. When we take the escalator up to the third level, not a whole lot going on up there either. The shoe stores are still open. As you can see, Shoe Palace is still open. No matter how little money people have or how much, people are always going to find money to buy shoes. And of course, lingerie from Vicky's Secret. But you could see that store's closed. Another store closed. Another store closed. Another storefront closed. These stores were literally open and full within the last 2 years. This whole store was full. This whole floor was full. Again, Foot Locker, another major retailer that's still open. They always have money for shoes. It doesn't matter. People always got money for shoes up here. If we go back towards the escalator, just to show you what it's looking like, they've put up a divider to basically block people from going up to the next levels. So up to the 4th, 5th, 6th levels, there used to be Nordstrom, actually, was their anchor tenant. Nordstrom filled up all of that square footage. Now there's absolutely nothing up there. So they lost one of their major anchor tenants. They still do have Bloomingdale's, which is another anchor tenant. But they're really hurting in there. That business actually, or this building actually, was given back to the mortgage holder because they could not make the payments on it after all of their tenants and lessees fell behind on payments, more or less. So you can imagine if you're not getting any foot traffic, it's going to be hard to make these rents. I'd imagine that some of these rents are probably starting at least 4,000 to 5,000 a month, and you would need a fair amount of people coming to your shopping center to be able to, you know, pay the expenses that you would need to stay in business and make a profit. Again, you can see many stores on both the left and the right are absolutely closed. It's an economic fallout. Now, again, the Bay Area was hit particularly hard during the pandemic. Workers did not have to go into work, and now that companies have a return to work posture, it's just not enough. It's not coming back. Bloomingdale's again is one of their anchor tenants there. You can see that store is closed. That retailer's closed. That retailer's closed. That retailer's closed. And that retailer's closed as well. This building is actually very gorgeous from an architectural standpoint. I hope they can find a way to revitalize this mall and or bring it back to life for some other purpose that could be more suitable at this particular point in time. I don't know if that's going to happen, to be quite honest. I don't think that downtown San Francisco is coming back anytime soon. Here we're going to take a tour of the old movie theater. There used to be, I believe, an AMC movie theater up here. Don't quote me on that, but this was a movie theater, I know. I'm not sure if it was AMC or not, but you can see it is completely empty now. I believe it's more or less like a passageway to get to an elevator to go to another part of a different building. But at one time, fully operational, tons of workers there, tons of movie goers, but again, completely shut down. I figured I'd speed this video up to make it not so long. Otherwise, this would have been like probably an hour or so video. I'm actually taking the escalator back down right now. I was making some talking points, but my camera was in the wrong mode, so I did not actually get the commentary. So you guys might have got off the hook and didn't have to hear exactly everything that I was going to say, but I'm kind of trying to give you the same commentary that I was giving in the actual video when I was taking it live. So basically, I'm going to actually cut up out of here, out of the mall, and get back on the street so I can show you a little bit more about what's going on. But even when I was walking by, most of these stores had nobody in there. They have literally minimal foot traffic there. I don't even know how these businesses are sustaining. You know, I walked past one of the businesses and I made a comment like that when I was making the video, and there was a couple people that just started laughing. It's just unbelievable. How can these businesses even stay open? They're not making any money. The traffic in this mall is sparse. You see more security than anything. I probably saw about 15 security people. I maybe only saw 40 people in this entire mall on a Sunday. So, you know, Sunday is definitely a big shopping day for people. I was tempted to go to Shoe Palace because I love shoes and whatnot, but I really didn't have time or space to actually bring that back in my bag because my bag was already full. So I just decided to forego the shoe purchase and, you know, keep giving the guided tour about what's actually going on and show you what's going on. Instead of telling you, I wanted to actually show the video so people can see how many stores are actually closed in here. All right, so I'm actually going to go to a separate part of the mall, and it appears as if, I believe this is the second level. There seems to be a lot of stores that are still open, but again, some of these businesses are not getting any traffic. Like, for example, this is some type of massage place. Nobody in there. Auntie Annie's Pretzel. 2-3 customers here and there. Are they really making any money? I mean, a pretzels is what, about $7 with a cheese cup? Kind of high price, but you know, it's a snack. You know, it's kind of a luxury snack. But think how many pretzels they would have to sell to pay their employees and a $4,000 rent. Now, we do have Rolex, which is a luxury watch retailer, still open. Rolex has been making money for years, and San Francisco's got some high rollers, so they probably still are getting enough traffic to sustain. They renamed this building the San Francisco Center. I believe that they took one of the previous names. It was a historical name of this particular building. I think it was called the Emporium. So they renamed it Emporium San Francisco Center. As we walk down Market Street, you can see Walgreens is still open. The streets are pretty clean. This is kind of the heart of the city right here, of the downtown area. And there's actually no commuter traffic allowed on this particular part of Market Street. So it's pretty pedestrian friendly. Cabs and buses can still go through. And then this is the entrance to a BART station. I actually took a BART in the previous video that I showed you for the day before. But it looks to me as if it's just never going to be able to come back. It wouldn't matter. I think San Francisco is pretty much done for their downtown area. Not really going to be able to convert a lot of this to housing just because of the way that these buildings are in fact built. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to repurpose it. There's only a limited demand for businesses in commercial space, and until everyone is forced to come back to work, there's just not going to be enough foot traffic to sustain it. The other thing I was going to mention is that San Francisco has actually lost quite a bit of tourism as well. So the weekend would typically be full with tourists from different countries. I hear people speaking German. I hear people speaking French. I hear people from all around the world coming to San Francisco, coming to the Bay, because it's just a beautiful city. Well, now it's a beautiful, almost abandoned downtown. There's still a very high population there. The exodus in California has not been fully completed, but there's not enough people to sustain the businesses, the larger businesses, or the mom and pop businesses. So most of the businesses that were in that Westfield Center, the San Francisco Center, those were actually bigger retailers. Over here, closer to Union Square and Macy's, these were actually bigger retailers as well. But a big part of the issue that they've had is crime and theft. So some months back last year, I think it was almost a year ago, the Louis Vuitton store, which is just right around the corner here, we're going to walk past it. The Louis Vuitton store actually was robbed in kind of a smash and grab deal where there was, 20, 30 people ran in and stole from the Louis store. So that was a very high profile crime that happened. One thing that was very noticeable this trip was that I did not see that many homeless people. And I'm just kind of wondering, where did the homeless people go? Typically by this time, After I just walked around maybe, we'll just say 15 blocks, I would have seen at least 50 homeless people. I didn't see any homeless people. Hardly. Well, I'm not going to say I didn't see any. I may have saw 15, 20 homeless people. As you can see, Toys R Us, Jeffrey's store, that's actually going to be closing up. They've announced that. Macy's here is actually announced they're going to be closing up, I believe, not this year, but 2025. You know, just kind of a sad sight to see. San Francisco was very, very beautiful. So much going on. I don't like some things that the city has to offer because, in my opinion, it's very crowded, just like much of San Francisco and California. But I do like to visit there. I've got friends there that I go and see. No matter how bad the economy gets, the pigeons are still always going to eat. They're always going to get fed. There's always somebody up there that's going to feed them. Very interesting story about the woman whose sculpture is at the top of that pole. She was actually the person that coined the term sugar daddy. She apparently was I believe she was a, socialite, and ended up marrying this very wealthy and prominent man in the city. I don't know the exact story, but they publish the story like once a year or once every couple of years. Actually, here I am actually going into the Nike store, one of my favorite destinations. You guys know I love Nikes. Nike SF. Gonna take a spin around here. That video board up there is so awesome. I wish I could have one of those video boards in my house. Not like it would fit in my house, but kind of a state-of-the-art video board that they feature their various different Nike advertisements on. That was the actual second level, the women's level. Now I'm going up to the third level, which is the men's level. I believe it's the men's running shoe and athletic wear level. I'm not really big into running shoes and athletic wear. I like athletic wear, but I'm not big into running shoes. So I usually kind of just pass by this particular floor because they don't have a lot of things that I particularly like. Very nice video board. Just do it. Just do it. Gonna take a spin up to the third floor here. Go see what's going on up there. Actually, this is the fourth floor. The fourth floor is where they have all the basketball shoes. So this is more like my speed. Dunks, Air Maxes, Jordans, things of that nature. Checked out prices on shoes. That shoe was $140, which, wow. Just even before the pandemic, a shoe like that would be like $90. I saw a wide variety of shoes, but I didn't see a lot that I really liked. There was one other pair of shoes over here that I did like. I believe it was these tuned Airs. These right here, I've got a pair of orange ones and another pair of blue ones that are kind of my favorites. And the price on these was $180. So I believe that's pretty close to the same price that it would be at most places. Didn't really have any Air Forces that I liked. Any Air Force Ones. So that was pretty much about it. Not anything too unique. I mean, I've got tons of shoes, and I probably had some of the same colors that they actually had there. Actually caught the elevator downstairs, and I'm going to get up out of the Nike store here in a quick second. Get back on the street, and my video actually picks up from there, so I'm just going to let my video actually talk when we get down to that point. But taking the escalator down to the third level, I believe. All right, we're about to get up out of the Nike store. I survived going into the Nike store, not buying anything. I did want to get those tuned airs, but like I said, my bag is full already, so there's nowhere to pack it. And unfortunately, these airlines are getting super tight on what you can bring on without charging you a bunch of money for an extended carry-on. But those Air Maxes were fire. Check out the Apple store right here. Really nice store here. It's a very great concept. I don't know about the Apple goggles though. I don't know about the VR. See what other retailers we got on this block. Got Williams Sonoma. They've been here for a while. I don't necessarily shop there, but got Tiffany & Co., a female favorite store. Got the bling featured over here in the window at the Tiffany store. Oh yeah, that ring right there, that's probably about $45,000 at least. The necklace, maybe that's $60,000. Got something new. I don't know how many people bought that for their girlfriend for Valentine's Day, but Saks Fifth Avenue open. All these places got security now. Again, not a lot of foot traffic out here. Most of these people are tourists. And I know they're tourists because I can hear them speaking foreign languages. Checked out prices here. It looks like it's $22 up to 1 hour. And the daily rate was $73. Not that bad. I think when I went to New York, it costed $95 for a 1-day overnight. So San Francisco might be a deal. I think the prices have dropped because they're just clearly not getting as much business. So if they were getting way more business, the price would be way higher than that. So I decided to take a little bit of a spin around and go back towards away from the actual center area where the shopping district is and get back more to, I guess, some of the side streets that are around the downtown area. A lot more housing over there. This area is just typically housing and, or not housing, but commercial buildings and a lot of retail outlets over there. And very beautiful day. Weather was absolutely gorgeous. Empty place. A lot of stores closed on Sundays. It looked like some of those businesses are actually open, but they were closed on Sunday, which I don't know how they can stay in business and they're not open on Sunday. It was a laundry place. That place is under construction right now. They said they actually had some water issue that they had to take care of. So that place was actually closed. Bars on doors, bars on windows closed. The liquor store had no people inside. I have no idea how they can stay in business. So all of these outside eating places did not used to be there. They popped up during the pandemic. And I think that parking should go back now that the pandemic's over if no one's going to eat there. In this area, this is mainly apartments, and there's tons of bars on doors and windows. And I always say, if there's bars on doors and windows, then it must not be a safe neighborhood to live in. Definitely not any place that I would want to live, especially for the price. Those apartments are going for probably $3,000 for a 1 bedroom. It could be $3,000 for a studio right there, just based on the location. Stop by the Psychic Wellness Center. I can give you your fortune if you're going to be here in San Francisco and stay here. It's all doom and gloom. It's all doom and gloom. That's your forecast. You put your palm out. I'll read your palm. You got about a 2% chance of making it and making it well over here. Walk past another parking place, $25 flat rate parking. But these parking places are not that great because no one's monitoring your car. So if your car gets broken into, they're not going to be liable. So a lot of people I know will not park there in those kind of shady parking places. Again, more places with bars on windows. I never saw so many places with bars on windows and doors. It's amazing that people actually live there. I saw a lady walking into one of these buildings and I was tempted to ask her, like, why do you live here and pay that much money when you could live maybe in the South Peninsula area for close to that same amount of money and probably not have to deal with all the crime? There's tons of car break-ins up here and tons of car theft. That's one of the top crimes that's happening